Hello everyone! Today let's talk about multi-page projects and how to navigate them without getting overwhelmed. So, without further ado, let's get to it! First thing first, we need to create comics project. To see all settings available for multi-page project, you need to select second to last icon with the comics page and a gear sign. There are a lot of things you can tweak. It doesn't even fit my screen. So let's walk through them one by one. At the top you can define the name of the project, the folder where to save it, and also select a template. Template is a set of predefined settings, so even if you want to change every single one of them, I suggest you to pick the one the closest to your desirable project and tweak from there. You can also save your own template for the future projects. With the next group of settings, you can specify the page size and trim and margin guidelines. Safe area in the middle of the page is everything you want to keep. Your beautiful artwork, speech bubbles, special effects, etc. Margin area is a space between the safe area and the trim line. If you want your art to take the whole page, you need to extend an artwork here. Bleed area, pink, is an extra area that most likely will be cut during the printing process. But you should take it into account as well, because you don't want to have blank spaces at the edge of your page. The size of your page is always larger than all of the marks, and sometimes when your drawing is bleeding through the crop marks, it is hard to estimate the composition of the page, if the characters are cut in the right way or the background doesn't end in a weird place. White color of the page background might also be distracting. In this case, I often use an extra layer with a black rectangle to quickly see how the final page will look like. This is way faster than exporting the page. You can also add a cover to your project. Since cover is usually printed on a different type of paper, Clip Studio Paint allows you to specify different resolution and different color settings. For example, you can have your manga project to be in black and white and the cover in color in a single project. Here you can also set where the cover and back cover will be placed in your project, at the beginning or in the reading order. Next you can specify the story information, the title, the author and the page number. This information will appear at the bottom of the page and it won't affect your final result. If you'd like to have a page number on the page itself, click on Folio parameter, then specify the position, size and the font. Last but not least, without it we won't have a multi-page project, multiple pages settings. Here we can select appropriate number of pages, but don't worry if you are not sure yet, it can be changed later. We can also set the view page by page of webtoon and select the binding point, left or right binding. If we don't have a cover selected, we can also specify the starting page from the left or the right. Left binding and starting from right is suitable for Western comics, and right binding and starting from left is for manga. By default, I have the time-lapse settings turned on. Time-lapse is recording for each page or spread separately in their respective files, the same way time-lapse recorded for illustration. But to be able to split and combine pages, you will have to manually turn off the recording for these pages, so I'll do that in advance. Also, for the project to have a cover, it must consist at least of 4 pages. Make sure you have enough pages in your project to have a cover. Now we are finally ready to click on OK and start our project. Once the project is created, you will see a project file where all pages are shown as thumbnails in order of their appearance in the book. To open the page, you should double click on that, and depending on your settings, it will open in the new tab or in the same window. Now you can edit your page in the same way you will work with normal illustration. If you realize you need more or less pages, it's not a problem. You can adjust the number of pages in the project file. To add a page, select the page where you want to add an extra page, then right-click on it and select a page from the drop-down menu. To remove a page, select Delete the page. However, if you selected Combine two pages into spreads, you will be able to add or delete pages only in pairs. So this operation won't work, you can't delete one page, but you can add or delete the pair of pages. You can also change the order of pages. To show you that, let me quickly color one page with black as we selected monochrome. So now we can see this pair of pages. To reorder the page, you should select it and then drag it in the desired place. But also note that you can only change the order of pages of the same type. So for example, you cannot move the double spread here, but you can change the order of double spreads. And you can also change the single pages in order together, but you cannot put the single page over here because it will ruin the spreads. To be able to put the 7th page after the 10th, we need to first split pages here, and then we will be able to move our page here. We can also replace a page with a page from another project. So let's pick the one that we already seen. Click OK, and then the page from another project will be imported here. This might be useful if you have the same last page in all of your episodes, in Webtoon for example, or if you have the same back cover for all your chapters. Let's pretend we finished our project. I will use my own comics as an example. I covered spoilers in pink. So what can we do now? First, we can preview comic project as a printed book in 3D. To do that, go to the File menu, Export multiple pages, 3D preview for binding. You can also export all pages as separate files by saving them separately or by exporting a batch. To export pages as a batch, select File, Export, Single Page, and pick a format. You can also export project in a PDF format. To do that, go to File, Export multiple pages, and pick PDF format. To export project in an electronic book format, EPUB, go to File, Export multiple pages, Export EPUB data. If you are interested in reading my comics, you can find a link in the description. See you soon!